Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cali Games. Okay, I don't usually do videos like this all the time, but I said, you know what? I don't know what to do with this channel, and I've been playing a lot of My Hero on and off, but lately I've been really on the game a lot, and it's something that's been pissing me off while I play this game. Is I see people that run special tuning slots that make no sense for their particular character. So I want to make this a little series, and the first, I guess the first episode of the series will be the strike special tuning slots, and I'm gonna tell you which one is viable and which one is not. So let's start from the very beginning. I don't want to just ramble on, but there's times where I'm in the game, I would see my teammates and I'm wondering, why do you have this special tuning slot? Like, it's not really compatible with this current character, or you could just have another special tuning slot for another character. But I'll explain to it further as we go. So first, special tuning slot, or I should just call it SPS? No, STS? I don't really know. Whatever. The first one we're gonna go for is Deku's freaking full bullet one, and it's Coda Finder. Coda Finder is actually really good. I think Coda Finder is a really good one. It's pretty much useful on every character. However, I do prefer, if you're usually playing with a team, Coda Finder would be a lot more viable, because you have your teammates that can easily achieve them, and most likely you can have Coda Finder for characters that have good movement. Like, you're always playing with a friend that plays, for example, Kurogiri or a Monoma or Mr. Compressed. Mr. Compressed one, I guess it's not that good in the beginning. And I prefer if you have it all the way maxed out, because as you see, at level 11, basically when you start the game, you're going to know exactly where Coda is. And usually if you're going to use Coda Finder, you should probably land at the center of the map, so you can kind of, end up getting Coda a lot easier. But I kind of don't like it in some ways, because you end up fighting other teams at the same time. Because let's say, for example, you get a game where 3 other teams are getting Coda, and if you're a character that does not like to fight early on, like for example Kurogiri, he's not really that useful unless he has like his betas like to level 7, I believe, when he gets the 3rd one. Could be wrong on that, it could be level 6. I don't have him, so I have friends that do play him, so you kind of need some levels, and you don't want to fight and contest and fight other players for that. So I don't strongly recommend this special tuning slot, unless of course you have a team dedicated on trying to go around collecting it. And it has its pros and cons. Sometimes another factor about this, another problem with this tuning is, let's say for example Coda ends up being right in front of you, or someone else end up like spawning on Coda and they end up getting him, and you basically are down one special tuning slot the entire game. Like, it's basically inactive. I wish if there's a way they can buff this, maybe like halfway through the game Coda spawns again and it could reproc. That would be pretty cool. I mean, I don't think that's, I don't know, that's just something in my mind that I thought about. But let's move on. We've been kind of rambling on about Coda Finder for like 3 minutes already now, right? Okay, next one is going to be Bakugo's Crushing plus Ultra Charge. Now this is very important when you hear this. This is going to be something for a reality check for certain players out there. This basically matters if you're actually good at getting kills. If you're not getting KOs and you're not killing players consistently, do not touch this tuning, this card right here. I mean, this special tuning slot. Do not touch it, please. Just stay away from it. If you're a guy that plays support, or if you can just look at your last like 30 games and look at how many kills you usually get. If you're not constantly getting about 3 to 4 kills a game, you're better off picking something else other than that. And it's funny enough, if you have it in this tier, this red, there's other options for you, and that can help you in the game more than this special tuning slot right here. I don't recommend this for players that are like average. I recommend it if you're like slightly above average player and above. If you're like a really good, super good player, this is amazing. Like, it goes crazy. Like, you cannot be stopped. But if you're an average or below average player, no offense, but probably wait until you actually become a better player and then pick it up. But right now, I don't recommend touching it if you're a pretty new to average player, honestly. All right, next up, I would like to go for hold up, a little bit of a sore throat. I just realized I gotta ramble on for who knows, like an hour or so. Next one we have is Todoroki's Resist Heat. Don't touch this at all, man. This thing is damn near useless. Yeah, honestly, I mean, with the new Endeavor quirk coming in, I believe it can burn. I mean, people are going to be playing Endeavor a lot, but I still don't recommend touching this at all. Like, stay away from this particular card here. It's just not useful. Like, honestly, I would take anything in this list other than that. Like, all it does is just remove burnings. Like, who needs that? You barely get burned in this game. Like, there's only like 4 characters that can burn you. Not even. I think it's only like 3. Like, what, Dabi, I believe, Endeavor. I guess now 2 different versions of Endeavors, and well, Todoroki. That's it. It's useless, and it's yeah. Don't touch this, bro. Next up is Denki Kaminari's Resist Shock. Now, this one is a little bit better than Resist Heat because there's a quirk that I'll explain to you later on in the series, which can, electrify the person that, breaks the shield. And I guess, I mean, I'm not too sure about that, but I believe this can resist that. And a lot of these players that are really good players would pair that with their builds, so they can, like, legit do some one-hit KO moves. Like, I believe if you play Todoroki and if you have, like, this electrification perk, and you could just, like, Gamma break someone's shield and just proc Gamma again, you could kind of one-shot, like, squishy players. Like, it's actually really pretty ridiculous. And this, I guess this can save you from getting one-shot from that. Or you get or for some reason you just don't like going against Denkis and they just piss you off. This is a decent counter to Denkis. But other than that, I don't recommend it. Please, just go for something else. Next up is Willpower. Now, this is probably one of the better ones for players across all levels of play. Like, you can be a brand new player. This will be useful for you. It just basically gives you a secondary, I wouldn't say a second life, but a little bit of a chance to come back and escape, or just give you a little bit of extra rebound. And sometimes it could be a big difference, because there's moments where you're like 1 HP or you're like 4 HP and you just get hit out of nowhere, and your team is popping a team heal, and this thing comes in clutch and you survive, you come back and you turn around and just absolutely smack the enemy team. Like, holy crap, he was 1 HP. And yeah, that helps, man. I really strongly recommend this, especially if you're a newer player and you end up being in situations where you need it. Because honestly, it's funny enough, you don't even need to max this out really much, because probably you're going to need this once a game. So you can actually have this at level 2 to 3 and it'll be still useful. It can give you one, I wouldn't say get out of jail free card per game, but one pretty decent lifesaver per game, I guess. And that's still really good, and that can make a difference in a game like My Hero to Rumble. All right, next up is Revenge Strike. I think, honestly, if you see any of these revenge kind of cards, especially swinging slots, they're always good. Like, your shield gets broken, if you're in a 1v1 fight with somebody, you just end up doing more damage back, and you can end up winning a fight like that. Like, there's moments where I was in a fight, and we were fighting each other. It's a straight up 1v1. He ends up breaking my shield, and it procs, and then I just locked in and ended up hitting a couple of more shots and did a little bit more damage, and that made a difference between the 1v1, and I ended up taking the guy down. And trust me, that can help a lot. And it's a pretty good one, and you don't also need a very high level on it, because it could just give you 1 or 2. I believe, like, what you see as you see right there, like 1 or 2 levels, and you're pretty good in there. So you don't need to like spend a lot of special tuning rainbow thingies to like max it out at a very high level. It's really good. I think if you're making those budget builds, we're talking about 1-star outfits, I would strongly recommend having at least this on it. Especially if you want to turn around on enemies and you constantly do get cracked, you can get back into the fight and be aggressive. Really good. Next up is Dabi's Crazy Torch Speedy Self Revive. To be honest, I would only take this if you're gonna actually have it at completely max level, because as you can see, low level is a couple of seconds off, but I believe it takes like 20 seconds when you're down. So 12 seconds off, I believe that's what, 8 seconds on the ground. That's actually pretty good. But there's again, it's a gamble. You're using a card, a special 20 slot for if you go down, like strictly on that. So, kind of a gamble. It could clutch up, but it can't. But it also relies on you going down. I don't like to, gamble a whole slot on me going down. I don't know. I would just pick something else, in my opinion. But hey, if you want to play like that, it's not horrific, but it's also not good. It's meh. All right, let's go for the next one. Plus Ultra Power Intensified. I personally don't like this, but when you plus Ultra, you just do more damage. You already do a crap ton of damage in plus Ultra. I don't think it's necessary to do even more. And again, you also lose your timer on your plus Ultra because, yeah, I personally don't like this too much. I think there's better options there. And if you're going to use this, you probably need to use something that can get you plus Ultra gain. So there's also a slot later on, early on, the way I explained it. This one right here, the Bakugo one, where it gives you plus Ultra Charge. Unless you have 2 red special tuning slots available, then I guess you could combo that with that. But I personally wouldn't do that, honestly. It's not that great. I would honestly say avoid this one. Next up is the brand new Tamaki ability Manifest. Basically, it kind of gives you a little bit of extra duration on your little ability cards that you have. Like, for example, if you have a green card, you activate it, it will just last a little bit longer. And if you have like a blue card and you activate it, it would just add a little bit more time to it. That's good, I guess, especially for healing cards. You don't need to level it up much when you're playing, like, for example, Mirio. I like to play Mirio and carry a bunch of green cards if my teammates are not running green. So then if I do get cracked and hurt, I could just quickly pop a green card and just go under and find a place to hide and just pop a blue shield, and I'm back into the fight, pretty much full HP. And this thing will last for a long time. I believe it was maxed out. But again, you gotta use a lot of rainbow cards to max out that to make it a big issue. I believe at max level you can have a green card active for over a minute or something like that. And in a game like this, over a minute of constantly healing, especially as a Mirio player or just any player in general, that's pretty good. I would say it's above average, but I wouldn't go out my way getting this because it requires you to, basically spend a lot of your rainbow cards, and I would not be selfish with the rainbow cards for that. I would want to give my teammates that, unless you play solo. If you play solo, I guess it's more better. I don't know who does play solo, but hey, if you do that, I guess it's okay. Next is Iron Fist. Pretty straightforward. You melee somebody and you get a boost in damage. I think this is only useful for characters that can easily proc melees for. Funny enough, Twice when you do his gamma and you melee, it's pretty much a guaranteed combo, and it's really easy to proc because it's so easy to track on with Twice with his gamma. His gamma has such great tracking that you can look away from someone in gamma and then it basically just gives you a free chance to melee. And if you play someone like Deku, you can just whip them and use your Black Whip and pose them towards you and get a free melee off. Aizawa, if you use his Alpha standing, you can just bring them towards you and do a punch melee and boom, it procs. So only give this to characters that can easily proc melee. But if you're a good player that can easily melee, it's just up to you. If you think you can easily melee for a character like what's that? Nejire. If you're for some reason, if you can easily proc melees with Nejire and then do that, I guess that's good. But I prefer it to give it to characters that can easily proc it. So it's good. It's very character specific. I mean, a little bit more damage, you can't go wrong with that, right? It does 5% extra damage, and it can stack with red cards. So if you add that 5% and you add another 10% to it, I don't know, some quick math, somebody help me out there. It's a lot of damage, especially it's basically at the point if you're doing plus ultra damage. And if you got teammates that got red boost on you, holy crap. Yeah, we're gonna be hurting people. Next up we have is Trance Blow. I do like Shinzo's thing because it gives them that brainwash state, and that's really good, honestly. Again, it's the same thing as before. It really matters if you're trying to use characters that can easily like proc melee. Like if you're playing like twice, you gamma, you melee, and they're slow as hell. Their dodge rolls are slow, so you can easily like go. If they try to dodge roll out of it, it doesn't matter. They can easily get hit, and your teammates can jump them. Again, same thing I said for before with this card. With the Iron Fist, pretty much goes the same with Trance Blow. Now, last but definitely least, when you plus ultra, it stuns them. I think this is a waste. It's probably like the bottom 3 of all the especially 20 slots for the red cards, for the reds, for the strike specifically. I would avoid this at all costs, honestly. I mean, not all costs, but yeah, there's better options over here. All right, that's about it for the red slots. If you guys are interested in this, just hit the like button or whatever. This is something that just I had on my mind. And like, comment, subscribe, and if I have something that's wrong, if you disagree with something that I say, just comment down below. And I want to see what you got to say, and we just have a cool discussion about this.